O God, please allow me to read your oath and revelation. This is God's oath and revelation. In the name of God, the most compassionate and the most bestower of blessings. The word public should know that when I bestow miracles upon your three queenship titles, it is certainly because you have come to the condition that possibly makes you have to face various heavy problems in the world. Meanwhile, each of your queenship titles has different consequence between one and the others. Thereof, I assure that each of your queenship titles has its own primary miracle. And be the Queen of Heaven, whose holiness is absolute, and be the Queen of Eden Kingdom, who dares to make a right decision and full of benefit, and be the Queen of Justice, who could prove my most justice and always be neutral, and be a just peacemaker for all adherents. And I crown you as the Queen of Heaven and the Queen of Kingdom of Eden, as well as the Queen of Justice. That is when you have gone through my various trials, that I am directed at your three designations. Thus, I consider that you have been succeeded to be holy as the criteria that I targeted on you. It is better that the word public knows that you have gone through purification that I create for you in the period of 22 years long, and none of my trials of purification that is not heavy for you. And so, today you have proved your endurance in purifying yourself. Hence, you are entitled to receive the miracle upon your three queenship titles. After all, I will not bestow you with all those titles just like that, before I see you fully striving without ever imagining what is the purpose of my trials unto you. So it is, I never promise you anything before the time comes. And this is the day where I will bring you to your real destiny, that in applying the day of my power, I have ascertained that the implementation of the day of my power to the word surely will make the word turn to my revelation in Eden, and it will definitely be ensured that you are the only my messenger whom I trust to receive revelation from me. Hence, be holy as the angels' holiness in heaven, so that my heaven in the world would be signified completely. And it is you as well who will write down my words that I intend for my court of justice in the world. Then I bestow you the title, the world's Queen of Justice. As for the world, which is in a chaotic state and threatened by the nuclear war at this time, hence I should create the word peace. Thus, I should make my testaments unto the world, to all parties whom I give guidance, as well as to whom I give a reprimand. Therefore, promise me that you will always be just unto all parties and bring together all parties in brotherhood, even though they are against each other. And be the wise mediator, and take sides not with any party, except conveying my siding unto the truth, and conveying my reprimand unto the transgressors. Thus I always bring you to see all the things that I want to amend, as well as the things I want to judge. And be resolute if you are condemned by various censures. For you are spotlighted as the person who is not trusted as God's messenger. However, I will prove your nobleness as my messengers, and I will assure the world public that you are truly my messenger. After all, you are the one who is seen by the world as the only human being who could directly communicate with me anytime. And you are also the one who is seen as my messenger, who could be asked and could answer anytime what is directed toward me. Thus, you are the Queen of Eden Kingdom, who will issue every of my stipulation upon something. Therefore, I bestow you a miracle that will elevate the hierarchy of Eden Kingdom above all hierarchies of all powers in the world. Thus I take an oath to elevate heaven's hierarchy as well as Kingdom of Eden's as the highest hierarchy in the world. And the world will not be saved without acknowledging the most sacredness and most sacrosanctity of my revelations that I speak in Eden for the world. Therefore, I take an oath to make the most sacrosanctity of my revelations seen by the entire world public. And accordingly, I also present the day of God's power worldwide, as I should make it happen. Thus, I will control the world condition as what I have promised, that my revelation should be really seen, broadcasted worldwide, and it serves as the completion of my covenant related to the writing of Kitab, Lauf Mahfuz, or Mother of Holy Books. At the same time, it is intended to overcome the threat of nuclear war in the world, and to prove the most sacredness of my revelations that I descend down in Eden. Hence, the accusation of heresy unto Eden could be ended. However, at this time, I also carry out the fulfillment of my covenants, of which I have stated in the previous holy books. Thereof, the control of the day of my power worldwide is devolved through all my covenants unto the world, which is officially issued by the Kingdom of Eden. Therefore, all countries and nations in the world could realize that I only channel all my answers and directions, as well as my reprimands and my law provision worldwide through the Kingdom of Eden. Upon those all, it is God's judge, Archangel Gabriel, the Holy Spirit, who will always accompany you as the King of Heaven, the King of Eden Kingdom, and the King of Justice. And this is the moment that my covenant unto him and unto you has come to its time. Then it is also the time for him to appear as himself, as that is my covenant unto him and you, which I have already stated a long time ago. And in your duty and authority at this present time, truly you have your own miracle, and the Holy Spirit has also his own miracle. So both of you fill each other and mutually synergize, collaborating in one destiny that unites you both. As for your most prominent miracle, it is the prayer fulfillment upon all good and holy prayers from you. And you are fully protected against all misfortunes targeted on you wherever it comes from, since the oath of protection upon you and the kingdom of Eden as well as heaven of Eden has been a protection unto the objects of the real truth that I hold in the world. And my protection is certainly perfect and thorough, as good as the universe and the entire angels in the world protect you. As good as heaven and kingdom of Eden is the constitution of the real truth that I establish in the world. Hence, the universe and the entire angels on this earth become the guard of heaven and my kingdom, and its queen as well as the Eden apostolate. Meanwhile, I have allowed the Holy Spirit to bring out his main miracle, that is to create a reversal and to enact my court of justice and my judgment in the world for all creatures on this earth. As for the entire divine occurrences in the world, those have been conceptualized for the Holy Spirit to take charge, so it will be applied by him at the right moment. Therefore, he is fully involved in the creation of the divine occurrences that happen in the world. Thus, he is fully involved in creating the miracle of revelation worldwide. However, he will not present himself as God who applies the deity of God's power, but rather as my messenger whom I oblige to apply his miracle, as the Holy Spirit, the bearer of my revelation to human world. Therefore, do not deify him, for he is only an angel, whom I sent to declare my oneness and my mightiness. Whilst he is only an angel, bearer of my revelation, whom is obliged to redeem all religious deviation and misuse of my holy verses that once was brought down by him. And he will not appear as a real human who plays the role to create world peace unless he is obliged to redeem the karma of veneration upon the Holy Spirit, and also because he has to appear to recompense for his responsibility unto me upon all religious deviation that has happened. Even though it is not his fault, since it is the adherents who tend to exaggerate creating with the rituals, and has venerated my messenger and has also misused my holy verses. Thus I sent him down to stop all those things. However, when His presence is not acknowledged and my revelations are rejected in this country, then I lighten His responsibility by abrogating all religions in order to simplify the unification of all religions for the sake of world peace. Thus, all people in the world are obliged to know that even the angel bearer of my revelation could also be in danger of nature's change if he is venerated as one substance with me. Thus, there is none of my messengers who could be venerated and associated with me, even the Holy Spirit, the angel bearer of my revelation. Thus the same goes for Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha Gautama as well as Krishna. Since I am God, the only one, and the Almighty in bestowing life, and the most Creator, and there is none of human beings who could give spirit unto anything and could give the life upon it, even though they are my messengers and even my angel messenger, such as the Archangel Gabriel or the Holy Spirit. Thus, mankind in this century will witness the Archangel Gabriel redeeming the karma of veneration upon the Holy Spirit. Thus, deification that surpasses their respective nature will not happen anymore, since I am the only one and the bestower of life and death, and the bestower of spirit to all lives of whatsoever. And I will come your vow and the vow of Eden apostolate by stating that there is no more authority and power in this world that could claim their power to be greater and higher than the authority of Eden. Therefore, I take this oath to make the Eden's hierarchy is above all existing hierarchies in the world. And if there is a power that is considered higher than that, then I shall lower and weaken its power. And if my messenger, Liaeden, is wished to be disturbed and oppressed once again, then I release the harm of my oath unto whomever wants to disturb and oppress her. And I state that do not ever defy me and my guidance conveyed by Liaeden, for it means that you have denied my oath, whereas my oath is the most sacrosanct and the most sacred. My revelation is the most holy, and my oath, which I mention in the room of absolute truth, is the most sacrosanct, and which cannot be known by anybody in this world. Supposedly, there is no Liaeden who becomes my messenger, delivering it to her fellow human beings. After all, our oath has never happened before in the world, since my oath is only taken in the end times and at the time when the doomsday process is flaring on this earth. Nevertheless, it is the correlation and the bound of our oath that will change the condition in the world. Therefore, do not ever deny us. Thus, on Leah's Eden birthday today, I bless her with 3 kinds of prominent miracles, in which each miracle is useful to protect and facilitate all her duty and authority. So I ensure that she will be acknowledged as my messenger whom I glorify. There is no human being in this world who owns a destiny such as hers. And unto her I trust a duty and authority to save and purify all people who are willing to be holy for the sake of my salvation. And unto the world public I state that she is the only person who could be asked and answer anything that is directed toward me, for she is the only my messenger from human race in these end times. For all people in the world, there is no certainty that is more certain in this world more than my guidance that is written and said by her. Therefore, respect her and do not ever disdain and calumniate her again. And do not detest her, for I shall absolutely defend her and will judge whomever wants to harm her. After all, now she can no longer be harmed, nor persecuted, nor judged, and she cannot be killed because of her existence that is wished to be ended. Since how could a queen of heaven and a queen of Eden kingdom, as well as a queen of justice for the world, have no thorough protection? However, as the queen of heaven, the queen of Eden, and the queen of justice, she is a person whose protection is the strongest. And after all, I command the universe and the entire angels in this world to protect her thoroughly. And I will not ever forgive the people who want to harm her, for she is my only messenger. And I take an oath to soon demonstrate to the world how I make heaven and Eden kingdom exist. So all people in the world will sacralize my revelations conveyed by her. And therefore, I shall ensure the enactment of the day of my power and God's court of justice and God's judgment worldwide. Upon that matter, I bestow a power unto the Holy Spirit and Leah Eden to declare my court of justice and my judgment for the world. And I have announced my stipulation since August 21st, 2017. And along with it, I include the most sacrosanctity and most sacredness of my command, which is related to their duty and authority, how actually all that they take care is the stipulation from me. Therefore, in the future, what will happen is already within my stipulation, that I directly control the world. So the world will see the battle of evilness with evilness, so that they destroy each other. Thus, the tussle of evilness in the world will fully appear. Nevertheless, the nuclear war will definitely happen. So it is the happening of World War III is terrible, but that is also the hell of the world. And so, in the end, all people will need my heaven, but I shall not move to lessen the hell before my heaven is glorified. After all, it happens because my heaven in the world is never willingly acknowledged. And thereof, I blame the rejection upon my revelations and my heaven as well as my kingdom on the Muslims. Hence, those who taste the most of the world's hell are the Muslims. And when all crimes should be displayed completely, hence all extraordinary crimes in the world emerge. Therefore, all kinds of crimes become difficult to be overcome, since the formal legal instruments are not sufficient to capture the extraordinary crimes, except by means of annihilation thereof. My mightiness is needed in overcoming the extraordinary crimes. Thus, we let the crimes and extraordinary crimes destroy each other. Hence, the world now is experiencing the battle of all evilness. However, that is how I perform the cleansing of this earth. And during the cleansing of this earth, all crimes will emerge up front and threaten one another harshly, and attack and destroy one another. And I let those all happen, for my heaven has not been able to be functionalized, and I will not functionalize my heaven before the hell makes the word public realize. Thus, it is good that all people in the world know my principle of law related to the functionalization of heaven, which is also related to the role of hell in the world. That when my heaven has been clearly rejected because it is considered as not true, and because my revelation is also considered as not true, then it is the hell that has big role and dominating. When it is not even realized as my judgment upon the rejection unto my revelations, thus the devils in hell flare up as much as they could, making all the tempest to become a nuclear war. Supposedly, my explanation wants to be regarded just as an illusion. Then I state that this is how my principle of law is related to the annihilation of evilness. When all people in the world no longer feel peaceful and serene, and they all are tedious already to see the domination of crime and misery, I state that if you all want to escape from that condition, hence be my one unified adherent. Therefore, be peaceful with your own fellows. Do not ever wage war against each other because of your religion. For if you think that it is right, then you can never be free from your own confusion. Since the sin of rejection upon my revelations is actually unforgivable, whilst my heaven is the one that sounds my revelations all this time. Supposedly, from this time onwards, those who reject my revelation will realize how it is only my heaven that could secure the world, and only heaven that could save human being. Think about it. After all, they all have been exhausted, covered in blood, searching for heaven through their own way. Thus today, on the Queen of Heaven's birthday, I absolutely ascertain that the rise of truth and the word peace could only be accomplished through my heaven. And there is no initiation whatsoever for it, wherever it comes from, which could be sufficient and could lessen the flaring up of hell and war. Since what I sincerely bless is only the involvement of my heaven, accompanied by the entire angels in the world. And if my call would be referred as the utmost solution for me, then afterwards the believers will be separated from the people whom I throw into the hell until this earth becomes scorching by the hell. However, after that time, my heaven will then be expected, and afterwards my heaven is then functionalized as it should be. God's oath and revelation descended down on August 21st, 2017, and completed on August 23rd, 2017. Thus, God's oath and revelation we have conveyed. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, my God, the most loving and the most compassionate,